From the studios, the channel currently known as Euroyard, we've explained a few times now that there is a brand identity change in the offing, but we got more important things to talk about right now because the time we recorded this and published this, the grand final of the 2026 Eurovision Song Contest is tomorrow, Saturday, the 16th of May. So, what we're going to do today, and I don't think I did anything like this last year. Maybe I did something by way of an overall prediction. But what I'm going to do today is we're going to tell you, generally speaking, where I think all 25 countries in this grand final are going to land. So at the end, I will give you my winner pick, or who I think is most likely to win. Shouldn't really be that much of a surprise. So what we're going to do, I'm going to put on the screen right now. We're going to have 4 little boxes, buckets, whatever you want to call them. So these categories, and I'm going to explain what they mean in a minute. So contenders over here, the contenders are top 10 finishers that I think could, under some circumstances or most circumstances, win the contest. Above average down here, this is for countries that I think will or may finish in the top 10, but won't necessarily be prime contenders to win. And then over here, you have middle of the road. So these are basically the countries that I think will finish 11th through 20th. So there may be some variation here. You're going to get a lot of countries that fall in middle of the road, and then towards the bottom, I think that's pretty self-explanatory. These are the countries that I think are most likely to receive a fate most cruel. So right now, we're going to put 25 flags on the screen. So these are arranged based on the running order, and I'm going to go through them one by one, starting at number 1 in the running order, which is Denmark, and going all the way to the host country, Austria, which is number 25. So you probably don't want to hear me BS and preamble too much longer. So let's just start with number 1. This is Denmark. I am putting them into contenders up here, but I will say this. I have thought Denmark has been a contender this whole time. My concern, and I think this is being reflected in the odds right now, because you see they've gone from like second or third place down to 6th very quickly. So it's the fact that they're going first in the running order. I think people are kind of giving up on this song. I do think the performance was good. I do think it's just a solid all-around song. But it's going first in the running order. And you may be thinking, well, that shouldn't really matter, should it? Well, the last time that a song that went first won the Eurovision Song Contest was 1984. That was Sweden. So it's been over 40 years since the song that went first has won the contest. So history, unfortunately, is against Sweden in this contest, but I do still think that overall, generally speaking, it is and should be considered a contender. Number 2 in the running order, this is Germany. This is fire. Unfortunately, I'm going to put this in the towards the bottom. You know, it's not like it's bad, and it's not like I got anything against her or the song. It's just kind of like, okay, we've kind of seen this one before, and Germany, they've had a few better results as of late, but not really anywhere near contending. So, yeah, I think it just slipping towards the bottom is probably the most likely outcome here. So number 3, this is Israel. It's a Michelle. I think it's a contender only because there is a realistic possibility it will win the televote. I don't think it's a guarantee that it will win the televote, but I do think it's a possibility. I don't know how well it's going to do with juries, as has been the case for the last few years. So, I mean, I think Israel would need a rather big televote to win, but it's possible. especially because, and I'll say more about this probably tomorrow after the contest, this is shaping up to be a down year. So anything can happen when it's a down year. You remember 2023, that was a pretty good contest, but it also had a runaway favorite. Even though Finland's up in the odds, I don't think they were a runaway favorite. So anything can happen. So just keep an eye on that. Number 4 here, this is Belgium dancing on the ice. And unfortunately, I hate to do it, but I'm going to put them in towards the bottom. I'm still surprised that this qualified. I mean, the staging, it was an interesting concept. It's an interesting song. The live performance was admittedly not great, at least vocally. So hopefully she does better on Saturday. But I think this is right now, if you look at the odds, and again, you don't want to put too much stock into those for everything. But this has consistently been near the bottom since Tuesday. And I think the results might reflect that. So number 5 in the running order is Albania. This is Alice's song, Non. So I'm putting this in middle of the road. It's the first of probably about 10 that we're going to put in this bucket here. It's fine. I don't think it's going to contend. I don't think it's going to be anywhere near the bottom. I think this song might just come right up the middle. So I think that that's a pretty decent result for them. You know, they did very well last year, and, you know, coming back with another solid performance this year. Number 6 in the running order, this is Greece, Akilas Ferto. So I'm putting it in contenders, although I don't know. This part of me just says, like I said in my best and worst case scenario video from a few days ago, I feel like their true ceiling is probably like second or third place. Like, it's going to do what Karia did, what Baby Lasagna did, what Tommy Cash did. It's going to come really close to winning, but it's not going to. But if you're looking at like a third place finish or something like that, then yeah, you're a contender by definition. So I think that's the right place for it. Do I truly think it's going to win? Probably not. Do I think it's possible? Yes. But I think that's the right place for it. Number 7 in the running order, this is Ukraine. The song by Leleka. And I think it's a middle of the road song. I don't think this is Ukraine's best that they've sent. And keep in mind, too, when I say that, I don't mean that as any sort of an insult. Ukraine, in 20 years or so that they've been in the contest, have sent a lot of really good songs. I mean, the density of really good songs that they have set since their first contest in 2003 has actually been like mind-blowing. So for Ukraine, this probably isn't going to be, you know, one of their top contenders of all time. It's still decent. It certainly is still decent. So I think just somewhere 11th through 20th, I think that's probably where they're going to end up. Now coming up 8th, this is Australia. This is Eclipse by Delta Goodrem. It's a contender. Delta, her performance on Thursday was fantastic. So at first I'm like, okay, yeah, this is fine. This is decent. But then the big finish at the end really, really sells it. You can just tell how experienced she is at this, how polished she is as a performer. This is definitely a contender. And I think a top 5 finish is really, really likely. Number 9, this is Serbia, Crimene. And I think this is also middle of the road. I think this song has its own unique lane. And, you know, because I talk to people, there are people out there who are definitely going to be televoting, who are going to be like, this song like hurts my ears. But there are also going to be other people out there who like music like this, who are going to probably be willing to support it. So it's probably going to be a little divisive. So, you know, it might not get the kind of televote that they would want. Really not sure how it's going to do with the juries, but I do think that somewhere 11th through 20th is the most likely outcome for them. Going 10th, this is Malta. This is Bella by Aiden. Same thing. I think this is going to finish in the middle of the pack somewhere. I think that this song has its own niche. I think that it's going to probably be more suited towards the juries than the televoters. So, yeah, I don't. Some people say that they think that this could get into the top 10. I mean, if it gets into the top 10, it'll just get into the top 10. So, I think the juries have plenty of songs that they can pick from this year. Really, for me, the question is how it would do in the televote. I don't think that this song's going to storm the televote. So I think it will settle back into that range in the teens there. 11th is Czechia, and again, another one I'm going to put middle of the road. There are people that have been talking this up as like a dark horse contender to win. I mean, hell, I didn't even predict it to get out of the semifinal. So the thing for me is that Daniel, he obviously is a very, very good singer. The song itself, I don't know. I used the word nothing burger with a friend of mine this morning. So, I think it will do respectably well with the juries. In fact, I think it will do much better with juries than it will with televoters. So, I think when you total it all up, I think somewhere in that teens range sounds about right to me. And, you're talking too about if it's going to truly be a dark horse contender to win. And you think it's going to do really well with the juries. Well, I don't think it's going to beat Australia with the juries. I don't think it's going to beat Finland with the juries. So there you go. Number 12, this is Bulgaria. And this is going to be the first one that we put into the above average category. I think that there is a chance that this very well could make the top 10. But I don't think it's going to get high enough to actually win the contest. So that's what I mean with this above average category. Top 10 is possible, and I'm saying it's likely, actually, especially after that performance. It was a good performance, but I don't think that that's going to carry it up enough to actually be a contender to win. Number 13, this is Croatia. It's Andromeda. I'm going to also put this in middle of the road. So it's staged really, really well. Maybe it could get a slightly better result than I'm expecting, but this song just seems like it fits the best in the middle of the road category. Number 14 is the UK. Look Mum No Computer. Eins, zwei, drei. Ugh, boy. Towards the bottom. I don't think this song deserves to finish in last place, but unfortunately, the way things have been going for Britain in recent years, I think it very well might. I actually don't think it's going to come in last. And I don't think it's going to get 0 points. So I know he was joking with people that he wanted to sell merch that said, look, Mum, no points. But I don't think it's going to get shut out. But something tells me if it gets above 20th place, it's not going to be by a whole lot. Number 15 is France. If you watched my reaction video from yesterday, you would know how I feel about the French song. I will reiterate very briefly. I am a fan of the singer. I am a fan of hers. I think my fellow American, Monroe, she is very, very talented. For someone who I believe she's only 17 years old, she is a very well put together, polished performer. With that said, this is not my song at all. But with that said, I think it legitimately will contend because it's France, because it's a big ballad, and because it has elements of past winning songs in it. Number 16, this is Moldova. Viva Moldova. So, Satoshi, I think, will finish in the middle of the pack somewhere. There's a slight chance that with a good performance on Saturday, maybe he could rise up into that above average category, but I don't know, something like 13th. That sounds about right to me for this song, maybe 14th, something like that. That sounds about right to me. And number 17, this is Finland, Liekenheiten by Linda Lampenius and Pete Parkkinen. And you might want to remember how to pronounce the name of that song because we might be talking about it next year. When we all watch UMK in Tampere in 2027, and this song is being performed, and then we're talking about the Finnish national broadcaster potentially hosting the contest from that same venue a few months later. So it's entirely possible. So yeah, I definitely think Finland has about as good a chance of winning this contest as anybody. Number 18, this is Poland. So I actually thought her performance on Tuesday was pretty good. I had kind of just like written this song off from the studio version, but she won me over with her performance. I'm like, yeah, I actually do think this deserves to qualify. It did. I don't think it's going to like fly up the scoreboard or anything like that. I think it will get some jury support to get it like above 21st place and into this pile. I don't know if it's going to get a ton, but I think it's going to prove to be an all right effort. Number 19 is Lithuania. So, unfortunately, I'm going to put this one towards the bottom. And I am hoping that his performance on Saturday is a little bit more up to my level of expectation for him. I just had too many issues with how the performance went on Tuesday. Don't get me wrong, I'm glad that he got through. This was a song that I had my eye on since the Lithuanian national final. But it just seemed a little off to me, and hopefully, again, he does better for himself. But, you know, if he's not pulling those jury points, then I think it could be a thin result. So my worry is that it will end up where I've put it. Number 20, this is Sweden, My System by Felicia. So I batted this one around. I ended up putting it in above average. I could see this song coming in like 10th because it's Sweden. Because Sweden usually does pretty well. I genuinely don't think that this is a contender. I don't think that this is as good as what Kai did last year. I think it's respectable. I think, again, because it's Sweden, it will do well. I wouldn't put it anywhere higher than where I've put it, though. Number 21, this is Cyprus. I'm putting it in middle of the road. It's going to get points from Greece. You know it, and I know it. It's going to get points from Greece. It will probably scrape together enough points to get out of the very bottom. The performance on Thursday, I actually felt bad for Antigone. I actually felt bad for her because her voice just sounded so tired. And it's her rigorous schedule here is not going to get any better. You got the jury show, you got the live show on Saturday, and they've got other performances that they do during Eurovision week. So she's going to be singing this song more times. So it's not going to help her voice get less tired. I mean, it's unfortunate. It is what it is. I think this might end up like towards the bottom, unfortunately, of this category. But again, unfortunately, I think that that's pretty likely at this point. I had thought that maybe pre-show this could rise towards the left side of the screen here. But after the Thursday performance, I just don't think that that's going to be the case. Number 22, this is Italy, Sal Da Vinci. So I'll put it in above average. I think it's going to connect with enough people to maybe scrape out a top 10. And if it doesn't, it's not going to miss the top 10 by a whole lot. It's Italy. They've been doing pretty well. But I really don't think that this is a contender to win. Number 23, this is Norway. Yeah. Middle of the road. Sounds about right. I could see this coming in like 17th, something like that. That sounds about right to me. Like, it's not a bad song. It'll get some support from places. I don't think it's going to surge up the scoreboard. So, yeah, middle of the road seems perfect. And then number 24, this is Romania. So, there are people out there that I've experienced since yesterday that are really fans of the song. There are other people that I've spoken to that are disturbed by some of the connotations in it. You knew that that was going to be the case. At the end of the day, I think this settles probably into like the top 10 somewhere, maybe towards the middle or the bottom of the top 10. Like a good showing for Romania, their best showing in a long time, but not really one of the songs that I think we're paying attention to late on Saturday night. And there's only one song left, the host country, Austria, number 25. I think this is, unfortunately for Cosmo, heading towards the bottom. Potentially last place. Again, like there's some of these songs I don't think necessarily deserve to be contenders for last place, but I don't know. It's decent. It's sneaky catchy, like I said yesterday, but yeah, I mean, I just struggle to see where this song's going to get a lot of its points from. So, yeah, someone's got to be at the bottom. Because, hey, look, there's 25 songs in this final. 24 of them are going to lose. And someone's going to come in last place. So, you know, someone's got to take that poison chalice. And could it be this one? It might be. I don't know. So that is how we've arranged all of the songs into where we think they're going to fall tomorrow. As far as a winner pick, I do think it's going to be Finland. I think Australia is making a late run at this. Australia, I think, is going to do really well with the juries. I think there are going to be, just like in 2016 with Dami Im, who is going to be announcing Australia's points tomorrow, by the way. I do think that there are people out in televote land that are just kind of like, I can't vote for Australia. They're not even in Europe. So that might hurt. So I think you could see Australia come in second or third place. I do think Finland ultimately beats them to the post. I think Saturday's performance for Finland will be a tighter performance than what they did on Tuesday. And I think we could be heading to Finland in 2027. But we'll see tomorrow. We'll see. Anything can happen. I will finish this by saying that again. Anything can happen. In kind of a more down year when there's not a runaway favorite. There are certain songs that are considered contenders, but there's no runaway favorite. Anything can happen. You can see a lot of weird stuff. So buckle up. Tomorrow's going to be a hell of a day. And we will react when it's all over tomorrow night here at Euroyard. Like and subscribe. Follow us on social media. We'll see you soon.